Thank you very much, Vice Chair of Kewopa. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize all the PSs present. If you just rise up and wave. I am told you're quite a number. I may not know you by name, but feel welcome. Welcome and thank you for honoring us. I would also like to request all the members of the County Assembly, MCAs from the various counties, to kindly stand up and wave, and I think they make the majority of the teams here. Kindly clap for them. Thank you very much. And finally, I would like to recognize the deputy governors, female deputy governors who are here. I think the ones who are here are female, not that I'm leaving out the men. And I will just call your name and you wave. Her Excellency Dr. Yulita Mitei from Nandi, Excellency Lucy Mulili from Makueni, Excellency Jennifer Mbatiani from Bungoma, Excellency Christine Kilalo, Taita Taveta, Excellency Philomena Kapkori, Trans Nzoia, Excellency Professor Grace Cheserek, Elgeyo Marakwet, Excellency Flora Chibule Kilifi, and Excellency Rosemary Kirika from Kiambu. We recognize you and feel at home, and thank you for coming. Your Excellency, I know time is gone, and I will be very brief. Excellency Governors, Cabinet Secretaries, Ambassadors, Honorable Members of Parliament, Majority Leader of Parliament, members of the Diplomatic Corps, private sector, civil society, all the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning again. Last week in Homa Bay, I shared a quote from the Luo community that said, "Arung dako kileng," which meant a woman's throw never misses its target. And today, as women governors, the women parliamentarians and MCAs in this room, and all the leaders, we promise not to miss this throw for the Kenyan women. Welcome to the G7 strategy launch. We're here to revolutionize women political participation in leadership in Kenya. I am elated and eager to contribute to this historic journey that will inspire many women in Kenya to offer themselves to compete and take up leadership positions at the highest levels possible. Ladies and gentlemen, gender equality and women's empowerment is both a moral cause and an economic necessity. Women's active participation in public and political platforms builds resilient democracies, ensures political stability, promotes sustainable development, and will achieve the desired economic progress. Let us journey back together to 2013, when not a single female governor was elected in that election. A marginal improvement was recorded in 2017, where 3 women were elected as governors. We unfortunately lost one of our sisters, the indomitable Her Excellency, the late Dr. Joyce Laboso. May her soul continue resting in peace. And at this moment, I would like us to bow down and take a moment of silence in her honor. Thank you. Today, the G7 reflects progress in women's political leadership as CEOs of county governments. Ladies and gentlemen, the G7 strategy is designed to accelerate equal and inclusive representation in decision-making and to model efficiency and accountable governance, as my colleagues have said. The strategy aims to showcase this transformative leadership we strive to deliver on the promise of devolution, while serving as a positive example to younger women or older women seeking access to leadership. The strategy also embodies the values of collaboration. I'm sure you have seen, when you look at us, you can tell that we are friends. We meet, even when we are not at work. We share. I saw some people looking very shocked when they heard that some of us cry. Sometimes it gets very tough because we balance both family, we balance personal lives, and we also have to do official work. We pull together collaboration. We also have accountability, inclusivity, equality, and empowerment that define Women Governors Caucus and that exemplifies transformative leadership. We share lessons. We learn from each other. I learn from Gladys Wanga, even if she's 1 year old. They learn from me. I learn from Susan. Everybody has something to give one another. And we sit down and say, how did you do that? Let's share your plans with me. Can I have that so that I don't have to start from the beginning? And we hold each other's hands, hoping that this will showcase women leadership to be exemplary and therefore motivate many other people to elect women leaders. Our goal is to increase the number of women governors from the current G7. It's not just a story. We're not just sitting here having this conversation and then going back to our homes. We have a strategy cut out for the next 3 years. For those of us who will not be running for a third term, because I'm not allowed by the Constitution, I will be dedicating my time to campaign for women potential governors who have been chosen by their respective parties, to work with them, develop strategies for reaching out on the ground to ensure that we actually increase this number. We will be, all of us, in New York in the next 2 weeks, fundraising for support and getting technical support as well for each of the counties and also for the counties that have potential women leaders. So how do we achieve this increased number in the next election? One of the biggest issues will be mentorship. It is incredible to be surrounded by many smart, dedicated women who are changing the landscape of leadership. And all of us will be giving our time, even as we run for office a second time, to mentor others who are coming up. I would like to just share one thing that I learned from Governor Ngilu. It's something very basic, but I came from technocrats. I did not know anything about politics. I had no clue about politics. I just went in there. And I remember when we were going around campaigning for women and 2/3 gender, one day we were in Kakamega, I think, and we were sitting, and of course, because I was amongst the youngest politicians, so to speak, I was still very conscious, and I think even Wanga was there. We were trying to find seats, and I had managed to find a seat because I came very early. Being a technocrat, you know, you're told 8, you are 8 seated. So I had a seat, but some other men came, big men, powerful men. And so I was very intimidated, and I was a governor, mind you. I stood up to give a seat to a man. I'll never forget Governor Ngilu. She dragged me back down and told me, never ever give up your seat for a man. Governor Ngilu, I learned my lesson. I have never again given my seat to a man. So one lesson I learned from Ngilu, very basic. She told me, never ever. How can you do that, you know? And I realized I'm a leader, an equal leader, just like the rest of them. But because they make you feel they've come with a lot of support, you know, we don't come like the women don't, at least none of us do that. We don't have like 7, 8 bodyguards pushing everybody around. If you come, I don't use a front car. Is it called a lead car and sirens? And I don't think any of the women governors do those things. So it's very easily that when the others who come can easily intimidate you, even when you're at peer level. But we are saying we want to show a different kind of leadership. We want to show a leadership that has an impact on the ground. We want to show why devolution actually happened, that women can lead and can deliver. And this is not a threat to the men. For me, who is the chair of the council, they know I beseech the second-term governors, please, second-term governors, support women candidates, because you're not running again. And there are women candidates who can make it in every county, we believe. It is our duty to encourage more women to aspire to political leadership, and not just political leadership, as Governor Sakaja has said, but also leadership in general. We will be localizing this strategy, starting with the 7 counties. We are going down, and also now the counties which have women deputy governors kindly volunteer to work on localization, and where we have women potential. Your Excellency, I personally am looking forward to the day, and my colleagues know this. I'm looking forward to the day, Your Excellency, I will say like Sakaja after your term, that this country will have more than 1, maybe 2 women or 3 women presidential candidates competing against each other. Inawezekana haiwezekani? Inawezekana haiwezekani? Amongst these women here, they come from different political parties. Why not? Men compete against each other. We saw President William Samoei Ruto competing with another in not so long a time in the future. We are hoping that from G7 to G24 to even higher, not just deputy, prime minister, but presidents, there will be a time, like one country I know in Europe, where this issue of handshake will be between Governor Ngilu, it will be between women leaders. A presidential candidate woman who has won in Kenya, and a leader of opposition who's a woman who lost. And it can happen in Kenya. But we have to see it, we have to believe it. And we're not saying it because women are just women. We're saying it because any woman who has aspired and has risen to the position of governor or leadership in the National Assembly, that woman can aspire to lead this country. We don't know where that will come from, but it is my belief, and I look forward to a day when that will happen. And I will say like Sakaja, I support my president, yake ni 10 straight. Iyo tulisema. Sindio? Lakini tumemwambia akitoka tu hivi, hatumpati promise ya mtu mwingine. Tutakutana kule, kina mama watakuwa wamejipanga sawa sawa. Your Excellency, wamama hai, wamama mpo, mnaweza ya mwezi, mtajipanga ama mtajipanga? Tunaambia President William Ruto 10 straight, sindio? Hiyo hatuongei. Lakini tukitoka tu hivi, Your Excellency, tafadhali hivyo umetushikilia mkono, we are looking up to you. We are hoping that up there shall be competition. Many of these women will present themselves, and may the best woman at that time win. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, I leave you with the contemplative words of trailblazer Margaret Mead. She said this. She said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Never doubt. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has changed the world." So never doubt that a small group of 7 women governors who are thoughtful, committed, capable, inspired, dedicated, intelligent, beautiful, hardworking, and an example and role model to many, never doubt that those 7 female governors can change the Republic of Kenya and indeed the world. As you've heard, indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. May those who participate in the advancement of women in leadership agenda and the G7 members transform this nation. Asanteni sana.